quick recap before we get into the video. What this is about is it's a short interview with one of my subscribers. He is at around 8s and 9s. He's got a few subjects that are a bit lower, so like English literature is at 6, English language is at like a 4. So he's at a high level, but he's trying to figure out how to get to straight 9s. Watched my previous 2 videos, which are both about helping people get straight 9s. If you haven't seen them yet, I would suggest you watch them. You can watch them after this video or before. And just to prove the fact that I did get the straight 9s, I'd like to show this. So that's just one of my certificates. There's obviously a few more in there. And for my A levels, I just got straight A's, not A stars. Still pretty good. But yeah, I took my GCSEs 3 years ago now. I'll get straight into this video. I think it's really useful for someone to watch, especially if you're in a similar position to him, where he's got some good grades, some not. And yeah, I literally just use the exact advice that I've given in the previous 2 videos, but I just apply it to the questions that he asks me. So yeah, give it a watch. Let me know what you think in the comments, and see you later. How you doing? Good. How do I pronounce it? Is it Lars? Lars, cool. And are you okay if I record it and maybe make it into a YouTube video? Cool. Okay. I mean, what did you want to go through? What did you want to ask? How is everything going? Sure, mate. Can you share your screen? Pull something up? Okay, sure. You just want me to show you exactly how I'd go through it, how I'd revise it. Yeah. Let me pull up my one. What you'd probably want to do first, so we usually have, alright, and something like this would be really good for maths. Like I explained in the last video, or the first video actually, it's literally just this dude that I get everything from, right? So you'd probably want to pull this up. Probably want to go through this. Try this question, for example. You want to try question 12, try it yourself. If you can't figure it out, watch him do it, right? And then move on to the next one, right? As he does that, next question, try it. If you can't do it, watch him do it. And what I'd probably do for this is do this exact video until you can do all the questions without him helping you. Yeah, exactly. And it'll probably take 3 tries, 4 tries, something like that, until you can do it without any help. You really want to just use this dude's thing as a whole bank. So if you've, for example, mastered all of these question types on this video, look if he's got anything else on 3D trigonometry, stuff like that. I mean, what level is your maths at right now? You're trying to push it to a 9. Okay, that makes sense. And how are your other subjects doing? Oh, you're looking good then, so you're just trying to push it all the way to straight 9s, right? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so the one thing that got me from an 8 to a 9 in maths was his grade 9 series, so I'll try and find that actually. Let me see, I think it might be this one. But so what happened to me is, like I explained in that one, it obviously doesn't make sense, it doesn't make much of a difference to you because you're already at a grade 8. But how I got to a grade 8 was through just watching 2 of his videos and just retrying all the questions on those. And then I got stuck at a grade 8 after my mock exams. Like, I really just couldn't get anywhere above a grade 8. The one thing that pushed me over was, I think it was this series where he goes through, I think there's more of these, but he's got a series where he literally goes through only grade 9 questions for maths. Yeah, these ones as well. Yeah, definitely master that. If you look at that, I think he's only got like 5 or so questions in that, but definitely master those 5 questions, because the way he picks these videos is he makes sure that he picks like all the different question types that can come up. So you end up getting pretty solid at the whole topic. Obviously, if you're getting stuck as well, if you're still not understanding these explanations, you can always take it to your teacher as well. That definitely helps. And yeah, this series is really good because with these grade 9 questions, they're always a bit off spec. So they're usually trying to get you to use multiple different subjects, topic areas all in one go. So they're pretty difficult. Yeah, how should you try them, or Well, I see. I think that will come basically with all of these practice questions. So once again, what I'd say, if you're stuck at a grade 8, master this playlist. So he's got this playlist of grade 9 questions, and what it'll do is it'll make you sort of think in a different way when you see these types of questions, and you'll be able to sort of understand when one of these questions is a grade 9 question. How an exam is set up, right, is there will be like 1 or 2 questions that they'll expect only the grade 9 students to get, and that will sort of be the differentiator. And that's exactly how like the exam is set up. So there'll be question like 5 to 12 they'll expect the grade 6 students to get right, and then like the last few questions they'll expect the grade 8, and last one will be grade 9. So if you're aiming to push that over, what's probably happening is you're making a mistake on one of these grade 9 type questions. Is it just 3D trigonometry that you're stuck on, or is there other like have you tried the other past papers? What they're looking like? Do you have like, could you tell me which one? Maybe we can like look at which question type you got wrong. 2017 maths Edexcel. Okay, which paper do you think we should look at? Okay, let's have a look. It looks more like a grade 8 level question. Do you know how many marks you got on that? 1. Okay, and did you manage to go through it with a mark scheme and you understood it, right? Okay, that makes sense. And how do you do on? You can't understand that. So when you come across something that you can't understand, keep a logbook of it, right? So obviously make a note that you didn't understand it. Best thing is usually to ask your teacher at the end of a lesson. Obviously you're on Easter holidays now. You can also email it to them. Usually they'd respond with an answer, or it does actually help. And even just in terms of developing your skills and being able to learn yourself, trying to just look up the topic, watch one of this dude's videos on it. So let's see, what type of topic is this? Obviously GCSE maths was like 3 years ago for me, so yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I'd probably give a few of these a watch. And again, that grade 9 type, whenever he's got a grade 9 on his thumbnail, that's something you want to be trying out. Yeah, keep a log. I mean, you're probably doing fine. Keep doing the past papers. Keep a logbook of every question type you get wrong. Make sure you can understand them as well. But what you'll find across all of the papers is you're probably making mistakes on the same few topics as well. And then when you find those topics, find one of these videos and keep going through them over and over again. Get help on that question, etc., right? Cool. So English language you wanted to talk about. Mr. Salas is the guy that helps us out here. What is it, AQA for you on this one? Edexcel again. Okay, AQA. Yeah. What were you struggling on for English language? What's your grade like? Oh, okay. I see. So you're gonna be focusing on that paper 1, right? Okay. Let's pull this up real quick. Again, like these dudes, just watching these videos and just practicing with them really make the massive difference. It's what pushed me up to a 9. Let me pull up one and see what. Let me try and explain it. Yeah, this one was definitely useful. So let's skip through. Okay. Yeah, I mean, what I do with these ones, answer them with him or before he explains it. Then listen to his explanation and sort of edit your answer after he's given you advice on how to answer these questions. And as you're practicing more papers, you really want to keep in mind everything he's noting down, because what he'll do is go through the mark scheme like really descriptively, and he'll explain exactly how you should be writing it. There's not many videos that you need to watch for English. It's like this one, maybe some of his grade 9 videos, but they're always repeated. They're always like the same things over and over again. What you have to do is make sure you're intaking that information that he's telling you. So every time he's explaining how to do a question 2, how to do it well, you intake that information, understand it fully, and then practice it on an essay. So you could be doing it on an actual past paper essay, or you can go find one, probably someone like Physics Maths Tutor, or some other websites. There's loads of different past paper question types. Once you've done that, again, you want to be emailing this to your English teacher. Like this is a game changer for English. because you can only do so much with learning from him and then practicing on your own. As soon as you send it to your English teacher, they'll be able to tell you exactly where you need to improve more. They'll be really specific, and your English teacher will actually think they'll have a better opinion of you because you're sending them work. Yeah. 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 What I did for English literature was Jekyll and Hyde, Inspector Calls, and Romeo and Juliet. So I'll go through what I did for Inspector Calls, or Jekyll and Hyde. That sort of explains it. Yeah. So I'm not sure if he's got any Inspector Calls videos here. I'll have a look. But Jekyll and Hyde was pretty similar. I had like a notebook, and I'd write all of these essays using his videos. So again, this one's probably going to be a really good one. So in these videos, he will just list out, for example, loads of different character questions. So yeah, he explains some stuff, but then he gives loads of stuff on a character, right? And you can use that to answer a question on Gerald, for example. Just look up a question on Gerald, answer a question, and same thing with Sheila. You want to do these open book. You want to basically do as many essays as you can, open book, that are really detailed and you think would get a 9. Again, show them to your teacher, edit them until you get a 9. And because there's only a certain number of like things they can ask you about, I don't know if this is like the best way to do it, but I sort of memorized the type of answers I would be giving. So once I'd done a ton of essays, for example, I can't remember what I did for Inspector Calls, but for Jekyll and Hyde, I'd done a lot of essays on characters and a lot of essays on themes. Right before the exam, like a week before the exam, I wrote out loads of different mind map diagrams. How I did it was basically like, if they asked me a question on Jekyll, I'd just have like a whole essay map out. Like, this is point 1, this is exactly what I'd be saying in point 1, this is point 2, point 3, and I'd also have like loads of different ways I would link it to something else and get like those AO3 marks, AO2 marks, etc. I had loads of these maps, probably like, yeah, on the main 4 or 5 topics, have these different point maps that you can be using. But first of all, if you're at a 4, no, sorry, what was your literature at? What grade was that at? A 6, yeah. If you're at a 6, you want to be getting to a point where you can get a 9 open book. That's your first step. That's the first thing you have to be focusing on. And I don't think that's much of a, I don't think that's too important when you're at a 6. I think because, for example, if for example open book you only still getting a 6, then no amount of memorizing the quotes and stuff like that will actually help. You have to improve your writing style, you have to improve the points you're making, etc. So how I do it is first get yourself to a 9 with the open book. Like, so when I say open book, I'd really just stick to this dude's points, just using Mr. Salazar's points. You can use Mr. Bruff's as well sometimes, but you want like one source of information. Sometimes use some notes that you got from your lessons, but you want a source of good points that you can be using. Make good essays with that, get your teacher to mark them obviously, and you'll sort of be able to tell if you're edging towards a grade 9, if he's giving you a high mark in those essays. And once you're at a point where you're at like grade 8 and 9 with those essays, that's when you want to start. You can start putting them into flashcards, your whole essay points, or you can start doing these mind maps, whatever way you prefer to sort of memorize them. And the thing is, what you'll find is, if you understand the points deeper, a deeper level, and like the sort of things you're trying to convey, the quotes will sort of just attach themselves to it, your memory card. Yeah. Focus on understanding how to, or memorizing how to make a good point, and then there's going to be loads of quotes that are just going to be surrounded by that. And definitely, I think the best way around literature is to get to a point where you can do an open book. And this is with most of these subjects. If, for example, you can't get a 9 open book with all the information you want, then there's no way you're going to get a 9 in the actual exam, right? yeah, definitely. I think your position is a lot better. So the people I was making the video for was like someone who's at like a 4 or a 5. So if you're getting, I mean, you've got a few of your subjects at 8s or 9s, so you're already fine with that. So you have loads of time to focus on these weaker subjects like English, which is at a 6. In a month, definitely you can get to an 8 or a 9. I went from like a 4 in my English on my mocks to like a 9. So definitely just practice them, send them to your teacher, get that iterating feedback loop. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful for you, bro. No worries. You don't have to pay it all, man. It's alright. No worries. See you. Bye. Okay. We'll make that into a video.